I'd like to now invite the Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, to the stage.
Hey. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome home, Mr. Secretary General.
Absolutely.
And now we have the official handover of the ambition statement.
Yes, and that's exactly what this is. An ambition statement from the North American and European business community.
Yeah.
So it says, in short, that we are, of course, really ready to continue to contribute to the security of NATO. And therefore, I'm really proud to present this to you on behalf of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce, Business Europe, the US Chamber of Commerce, and of course, my own Confederation of Netherlands Industry and Employers.
Yeah. Well, thank
There you go.
so much. This is huge. Great. Thank you. Now, of course, I will keep this the rest of the day. It's very easy to...
Put it on your back, maybe.
Yeah, we can put it... Yeah.
We will make a miniature version of this for you,
Exactly.
so you can carry it with
Shall
you
I
all
put
the
it-
time.
I put it here. That's maybe...
Thank you very much, Ingrid Thijssen,
you.
for handing over this statement. Thank you very much, Minister Brekelmans. Mr. Secretary General, can I invite you to address
I would love
the forum?
Yeah. Well, thank you for that special moment, Ingrid, and thank you for those inspiring words, Minister Brekelmans, dear Ruben. And thank you to everybody involved in organizing this important forum at the Dutch Ministries of Defense and Foreign Affairs, the Confederation of Netherlands Industry and Employers, and of course my wonderful colleagues at NATO. And it's also a pleasure, as always, to be here with my good friend Ursula von der Leyen. There is an ancient Roman saying, if you want peace, prepare for war. It's a simple idea. Make your defenses so strong that no one dares to attack you. Today, NATO's military edge is being aggressively challenged by a rapidly rearming Russia, backed by Chinese technology and armed with Iranian and North Korean weapons. We need to unite, innovate and deliver, and that's exactly what this forum is all about. Across the alliance, we have opened hundreds of new production lines and expanded existing ones. We are now on course to produce more ships, more planes and ammunition than we have done in decades. And NATO is using its unique power to drive demand, increase cooperation and enhance innovation. Just moments ago, we brought allies together to sign another set of important multinational projects. This includes establishing NATO innovation ranges to better integrate technology into our armed forces. And another project to secure the supply chain of defense-critical raw materials. We also agreed to expand our multinational, multi-role air tanker transport fleet. As you mentioned, Minister Brekelmans, dear Ruben, this is a brilliant example of NATO working together with the European Union to deliver world-class air-to-air refueling, transport and medical evacuation capabilities. When it comes to our partners, I'm delighted that we are also joined by our friends from the Indo-Pacific and Ukraine, the source of so much of today's innovation and cutting-edge capabilities. And I welcome the fact, dear Ursula, that Europe is really stepping up. The Readiness 2030 plan promises to unleash up to 800 billion euros for defense. There's no defense without a strong defense industry. And there's no European security without a strong transatlantic bond. So we need to bring down barriers and encourage truly transatlantic defense cooperation. Only Europe and North America together can rise up and meet the challenge. And of course, this includes working with Ukraine, an industrial and innovation powerhouse. And let me welcome the news out of London yesterday of a massive British investment in Ukraine's defense industry, plugging Ukraine's drone producers directly into the British industrial base. This is all great, but we need to do more, we need to do it better and together, and we need to do it now. It is simply unthinkable that Russia, with an economy 25 times smaller than NATO's, should be able to outproduce and outgun us. We must spend more to prevent war. We must win this new war of production. That's what this summit is all about. Allies have agreed an unprecedented uplift in our capability targets. So we now know exactly what forces, resources and capabilities each ally needs to provide. This will require a quantum leap in our collective defense. But I know that when there is a will, our world-class industries and entrepreneurs will find a way. This will also require bold decisions from our political leaders. And that's what we will do at the summit tomorrow, with an ambitious new defense investment plan to spend 5% of GDP for defense. This will mean a huge defense dividend, an engine of growth for our economies, driving literally millions of jobs on both sides of the Atlantic. NATO's leaders are about to take an historic step to provide the resources necessary for strong defense. And now it's up to industry to deliver, and yes, to deliver. So let's get to work. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. Thank you for emphasizing the urgency of the challenge, but also that we can actually achieve the challenge of transatlantic partnership, the stronger role of the EU, the partnership with Ukraine. Thank you so much. And I would now please warmly welcome Her Excellency Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission, to join us on stage for her keynote speech.
Thank you. Secretary General, dear Mark, Minister Brekelmans, thank you, first of all, for bringing us together here in The Hague. Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear representatives of the defense industries, I'm so grateful for this opportunity to exchange with you. Because we all know that the future of Europe, yes, is being written on the front line in Ukraine, but not only. It is also being written in your factories. In record time, you have managed to open new lines and step up production. You are adapting to the new reality of a full-scale war right here on European soil. And just like your industry, all of Europe is facing a changing international landscape. As we've just heard, rightly so, the security architecture that we relied on for decades can no longer be taken for granted. It is a once-in-a-generation tectonic shift. But in recent months, Europe has taken action. Action that seemed unthinkable just a year ago. We set up the Rearm Europe plan to mobilize indeed 650 billion euros in defense investment over the next 4 years. And in addition, in just 4 months, we created a new financial instrument, we call it SAFE, with 150 billion euros in loans for joint procurement. So overall, as you said, Readiness 2030, 800 billion euros over the next 4 years to be invested in defense. Last week, I think also important, we proposed a simplification omnibus to radically simplify and thus speed up our defense investment. And we signed by now across the world, the latest of them actually yesterday with Canada. The Europe of defense has finally awakened. Tomorrow, the summit will set, indeed, historic new spending targets for NATO allies. But how we invest is just as important as how much we invest. Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine has changed warfare. On the one hand, it has consumed more hardware than any other war. But on the other hand, battles have been won and lost because of software, jamming systems, and artificial intelligence. So as we replenish our stocks, We must also modernize our legacy systems and cater for new technological needs. This is vital for credible deterrence, and the European Union has an important role to play here. While NATO sets the standards and the capability targets for allies, our union can help connect the dots between different industries, between civilian and military, and between NATO and non-NATO countries. And let me set out 3 examples where I think our union's contribution is essential. The first one, we can help bridge the gap between primes and startups. The war in Ukraine has shown how important this is. Tech startups can offer countless solutions to challenges that emerge instantly on the battlefield. And this is why we have set up a Defence Innovation Office in Kyiv, because we want to learn from Ukrainians' battlefield experience. But innovative startups inside our union can also play an important role. Since the start of the war, investment in European defence tech startups has increased by 500%. But we still lack funding for the critical stage from the startup to the scale-up. We must get better at this. We lose too many startups at the beginning. Our startups must be able to grow and to grow here in the European single market. We need to identify potential unicorns proactively and channel more capital towards them, both from public and private investors. Our continent is home to so many innovators and pioneers. They must be able to find what they need to thrive right here in Europe. My second point, we must build more bridges between civilian and military. Many critical components of 21st century defense are, as we all know, dual use. Chips, cloud services, software, satellite, artificial intelligence, you just name it. Our defense industry needs seamless access to the high end of these vital technologies. But today, dual-use projects are often not allowed to run on civilian platforms. We have to change this. We will allow dual-use projects to access our new AI gigafactories with their unparalleled computational power. And the same goes for our European Innovation Council Fund for startups. We will seek this kind of synergy across the board. We must better connect our tech industry with our defense industrial base. And my third point, finally. Today, we are asking the defense industry to deliver, as you've said, to deliver at speed and at scale. But I also know, this is your responsibility, this is your task, but we also know that we have to do homework, that we have to create conducive, right conditions for this to happen. And there, for instance, our safe loans, with them we incentivize joint procurement and long-term contracts. This is a long-standing ask of your side. This will give you the predictability you need to scale up production. And importantly, SAFE is open not only to our union's member states, but also to candidate countries, so future members like Ukraine. And it is open to our defence and security partners, like the UK or Japan, like Norway or South Korea. And yesterday, indeed, we signed the Security and Defence Partnership with Canada. We are also clarifying our rules for cross-border transfers of defence products and multinational industrial collaboration. This is the way to speed up and scale up, not in isolation, but together with our most trusted friends. Ladies and gentlemen, we know that Russia will be capable of testing our mutual defence commitments within the next 5 years. By 2030, Europe must have everything it needs for credible deterrence. This is what we call Readiness 2030. But this requires a new mindset for all of us. We must be ready to leave our comfort zone. We must be ready to explore new ways how to do things, bringing together the tech and the defence, the civilian and the military in Europe and, of course, beyond the European Union. I am deeply convinced, with the right mindset, we can deter everyone who seeks to do harm to us. For a stronger NATO and a stronger and safer Europe, I thank you for this opportunity to engage with you. Long live Europe, and thank you very much.